whether or not there's going to be a new admission standards, whether they need to be raised or lowered or whatever this situation will be a demonstration of the Higher Learning Commission that the board, in fact, is using data and making those decisions based on that data. So I'm very pleased with how this entire Higher Learning Commission has worked out. I appreciate the board's support on that. I certainly appreciate the presidents and all the institutions and all the staff that have worked so hard over from the visit last April and working through all of that and making sure that we're checking all those boxes as we've been moving forward. So I'm pleased with where we are relative to the Higher Learning Commission, and next fall they'll come here on that one focused visit in response to a one focused interim report. Okay, the second topic to talk to you about today is the Dickinson State University Foundation. Today I'll report on the situation with the Dickinson State University Foundation. To begin with, it's vital that we all remember that a foundation is an affiliated organization to a university. Such organizations are extremely important to the success of our institutions across the system. They've participated in building facilities and raising funds for programming and scholarships. Millions of dollars are raised each year by our foundations and used for the benefit of your institutions and our students. But these are private organizations. Their funding is through the raising of private dollars. Their governance is by foundation boards made up of good, loyal individuals who dedicate their personal time for the betterment of the institutions they love. We're all indebted to the wonderful people who serve foundations and to the resources they provide our institutions and our students. We have 25 affiliated organizations attached to the university system. Routinely, these foundations are operated extremely well and meet the purposes of serving the institutions to which they are affiliated. However, there will be exceptions. The issues plaguing the DSU Foundation did not occur overnight. I have been dealing with these issues since assuming this position in the summer of 2013, and they were old issues by then. I won't have time to enumerate all the issues, but I will highlight those that most directly brought us to the point at which we are today. When I assumed this office, the end of June 2013, the two most pressing issues appeared to be, first, the lack of an updated agreement between DSU and DSU Foundation, and secondly, the financial situation at the foundation was in fact dragging down the composite financial index, the CFI, of DSU. At the end of my report, I'll talk a little more about the CFI and its impact on an institution in more detail. By June 30, 2013, DSU's CFI alone was 4.19. However, with the foundation calculated in, and that is how the Higher Learning Commission requires it, DSU's CFI was down to 1.18, and a CFI below 1.0 is a concern to the Higher Learning Commission. As an aside, based upon the most recent Dickinson State University Foundation financial information, the CFI may now be down to 0.79. It was at that time, during the summer of 2013, that President Costin raised his concerns to me about the handling of financial issues within the DSU Foundation. In September of 2013, Brady Martz and Associates provided a qualified opinion to DSU Foundation, citing inadequacies in its financial records and the auditor's inability to determine, quote, the proper amount and classification of unrestricted and temporary restricted net assets, unquote, of the foundation. In September and October 2013, 3 foundation board members resigned, and President Costin began holding meetings with the foundation board president on the qualified audit, DSU's CFI, and a new updated agreement, among other topics. By the second week in November 2013, General Skogen had come on board and became fully engaged in President Costin's concerns about the DSU Foundation. Through November and December, General Skogen participated in numerous conversations with the Foundation Board President and President Costin to find common grounds to begin working on President Costin's concerns. In March 2014, General Skogen and I met with the Foundation Board President and the Executive Director. At that meeting, we conveyed again our concerns about the lack of a new updated agreement, DSU's CFI, the qualified audit, and the lack of open communications between the university and the foundation. In June 2014, President Costin presented to me compelling, solid evidence about his concerns with the financial activities of the foundation. At that point, we invoked Board Policy 340.2, paragraph 5, that states, quote, "The Chancellor shall take reasonable and appropriate action responding to such reports." We then decided to proceed with an independent, focused review of the DSU Foundation. For that review, we secured the services of Eide Bailey. It was at this time that I began notifying the Board Audit Committee of developments related to the DSU Foundation. The first phase of the review was accomplished in August 2014, and we received the report in September of 2014. The review report, still in draft form awaiting management responses to its findings, indicated the appearance of significant accounting irregularities. Just a couple of days after receiving this report, General Skogen and I met with Foundation Board members and expressed our continued concerns, now substantiated by an independent review. On September 30th, 2014, we received information that the current audit, as the 2013 audit, would likely once again be qualified because of the state of the records. Auditors were finding it impossible to determine the status of certain restricted funds. Then on October 1, 2014, an arbitrator ruled against the foundation and its associates for approximately $1.5 million on an issue involving a former contractor and business partner on the Hawks Point facility and other joint interests. Hawks Point is a retirement community on the DSU campus owned by investors, with the foundation holding a 6% interest in the investment. On October 9, 2014, I sent a letter to the DSU Foundation requiring 8 action steps to be taken to, quote, "move us in the right directions toward a sustainable, productive relationship between DSUF and DSU." On that same day, the long-serving executive director resigned. On October 28, 2014, a judgment was filed pursuant to the arbitration ruling. Over the next weekend, the board president resigned. The next week, General Skogen met with the Attorney General's office on possible legal actions to secure and stabilize the foundation assets. Those meetings resulted in our November 12, 2014 meeting with the Executive Committee of the DSU Foundation, at which the Attorney General informed the foundation that he would be filing a motion for a judge to appoint a receiver. 2 issues that I know all stakeholders are interested in. 1, how does this affect DSU's accreditation? And 2, what is the future of DSU Foundation and its current assets? First, DSU has worked tirelessly to put behind it any residual liabilities related to the accreditation issues of the past. And this, what we're dealing with today, is a very different issue. First, because it's financial, but mostly because it's reflective of an issue with an affiliated organization, not the university. Since 2006, the CFI of an institution is calculated each year and reported to the Higher Learning Commission. Under established rules, a worst-case scenario is that when an institution has reported an unacceptable CFI, in some cases for 2 years running, then the Higher Learning Commission's Financial Review Panel determines appropriate steps to monitor the institution's financial health. Under no situation is this tied to concerns about the academic program of an institution. And in our present case, it's really about the affiliated organization, DSU Foundation. A review panel would immediately recognize the problem, which is being dealt with very aggressively by the institution, the university system, and the state through the Attorney General's office. The bad news here is that DSU could be dragged back into a Higher Learning Commission process by no fault of its own. The good news is that this is not reflective of DSU or its wonderful programs. Students and prospective students and their parents may rest easy knowing that DSU continues to deliver a fully accredited, excellent education. And to the second question, the future of the DSU Foundation. The very reason we began our conversations with the Attorney General's office was to protect DSU Foundation assets, get the foundation back on solid ground, and protect the wishes of its wonderful and generous donors. In the end, as the foundation works its way through this legal righting of the ship, donors should be able to regain confidence that the excellent work for which this foundation was established will continue. A receivership will settle things down and restore the foundation on solid grounds. While there is currently a rough patch through which the foundation is traversing, rest assured that in the end there will be once again confidence and good works. And that's my report, unless there are any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Skogen. Questions? Okay. DC, did you want to address the board at all? Are you good? Okay. Thank you. All right. Item number 12 is the president's report, and I think that during our, yep.